Story, HOA Karen busted into. My lake cabin didn't realize I was meeting the state. Attorney General inside. Daniel loved his lake cabin. Tucked between tall pine trees and overlooking a peaceful stretch of water, it was his favorite escape from the stress of city life. On most weekends, he came here to relax, fish, and enjoy the quiet. But this time was different. Daniel was hosting a very important guest. His visitor was the state attorney general, an old friend from college. They had decided to meet privately at the cabin to review a stack of documents Daniel had been collecting. For months, he had quietly gathered evidence of unfair HOA practices in his neighborhood, rules that seemed more like personal power plays than fair regulations. The attorney general had agreed to listen. But while they spoke inside, someone else was watching. Her name was Mrs. Miller, though almost everyone in the neighborhood called her Karen behind her back. She was the self-appointed rule enforcer of the HOA, always checking lawns, writing warning letters, and questioning guests she didn't recognize. She thrived on control, and she believed nothing happened in the neighborhood without her approval. That morning, she spotted a sleek black car in Daniel's driveway. The sight set off alarms in her mind. "That doesn't belong here," she muttered, frowning. Instead of simply asking Daniel, she convinced herself something suspicious was going on. Without hesitation, she stormed across the yard, climbed the steps, and pounded on Daniel's cabin door. Inside, Daniel and the attorney general paused. Before Daniel could reach the door, it swung open. Mrs. Miller stepped inside, her tone sharp. "Daniel, what's going on here? Who owns that car outside? You know the HOA requires approval for overnight guests." The entire room went still. The attorney general slowly looked up from the papers. His presence was calm, but carried authority. "Excuse me," he said. "And you are?" "Caught off guard," Mrs. Miller stuttered. I'm with the HOA. I make sure the rules are followed. I saw a car and, well, this is my responsibility to check." The attorney general stood, his voice steady. "You just entered private property without permission. That's trespassing." Her usual confidence cracked. She fumbled for words. "I was only trying to protect the neighborhood. You never know who people invite." Daniel's voice was firm now. "This is my home, Mrs. Miller. My guest is here because I invited him. You had no right to barge in." The attorney general nodded. "Ma'am, let me be clear. Homeowners associations can create guidelines, but they do not give you the power to violate people's basic rights. What you did today is unacceptable." Mrs. Miller's face turned red. Her usual authority seemed to vanish. She muttered a weak apology before backing out of the cabin and leaving in a hurry. For a moment, the room was silent again. Then the attorney general shook his head. "People like that forget what real leadership means. It's not about control. It's about respect." Daniel felt a wave of relief.